We've got to go down and get our brakes checked on our little old Toyota this morning because they are making some noise. And you might be surprised at where we get this work done. We met our local mechanic a while ago now when we needed a battery replaced in our car, and this guy, the local mechanic, came up and checked it and then returned with a new battery for us and installed it in a matter of no time. Pretty inexpensive and hugely convenient. He's a local guy just down in the next village, so we've decided to continue to give him our business. Ever since I came to Thailand over 20 years ago, I've had a focus on working with local people and employing local people to do any of the work that we need to have done on our vehicle or anything else. So it's great to find a local mechanic who's competent and well priced. And I learned this when I first came here because I'd been given an old Toyota Hiace van to drive. And it was pretty good. It was a great old vehicle. It's a Toyota, so it just kept on going and going. But of course, from time to time, it had its problems. And the guy that had loaned it to us had recommended a couple of repair places for us to use that had already worked on the van. And so the first time I had a problem with it, I took it to this big repair place in Chiang Mai, somewhere down near the railway station. And they did a reasonably good job, but there was always a problem with the brakes with this old van. It was a fairly heavy vehicle, it was fairly big, and the brakes on it were the drums were just too small, I think. And so this first time I took it in to get whatever repair was needed, I also asked them to check the brakes. And the repair work had been done, but I wasn't that impressed with it. It was fairly expensive, and the staff weren't very helpful, and brakes were not fixed. So the second time I needed to get work done on the van, I asked the same guy, where was this other place that used to work on the van? And he gave me their number, and I contacted them again, asked them to make the repair that was needed. I can't remember what it was. And then also asked them to check the brakes and tweak the brakes for us. Again, it came back. The repair was done and it was reasonably inexpensive, but the brakes were unchanged. They were just as bad as ever. And in the meantime, we'd been making friends with some of the neighbours where we were living, and one of the guys that I'd been talking to quite a lot, and he was really helpful with my Thai language. We'd sit and chat together and have a great time. And his brother, who lived on the same property, was a mechanic. He was working out of a shack. It was just a roof covering his tools and his menial equipment that he had. My friend really encouraged me to make use of his services. So it was time to change the oil in the van again. So I dropped it off to my neighbour's brother and asked him to change the oil and check the brakes. I got the van back later that afternoon with a bill, I think it was 900 baht. And I can remember thinking, wow, he couldn't even pay for the oil replacement back in New Zealand, and he had repaired the brakes. So ever since then, I have been really encouraged to use smaller local businesses. When we found this guy just down the road in Monglang, I was very happy to start giving him our business. He works out of a shop that's a bit more well equipped than my original neighbour's brother's workshop. He's got a good car hoist, he's got the machinery and all the gear to be able to change your tyres and do a whole bunch of work on cars like ours. So coming down here to get him to check our brakes is not a problem. Yeah, I think guys like these, they've done their time working in a bigger repair shop probably, and have just had the initiative and the skill to be able to branch out on their own and start their own business in their hometown. Yeah, this guy's shop is just right at the back of his house. They live right here, and he just services his local community, and it is a great service to have locally that we can easily come down and get any necessary repair work done on the car. Pansa had given him a call earlier that morning. He said to come down around 9 o'clock, so here we are arriving at 9:30. He checked everything. He checked the front brakes, which we were pretty sure was where the noise was coming from. And he also took the wheels off and checked the rear brakes as well. So he indicated that those shoes were well worn, particularly on one side. So we said, come on, go ahead and replace the whole lot. In the space of about 5 hours, he planed the front discs for us. He received the new pads for the front disc brakes, and he replaced the brake shoes on the rear brakes. Put it all back together, tested it for us, and by 2:30 that afternoon we had our vehicle back again and running smoothly, and the brakes working just fantastically well without any noise.
ควรจะเปลี่ยนแล้ว
He did say that he would return the car to us, but he was a bit nervous about our dogs, so I said, oh, never mind, we'll pop down and get it, just give us a call when you're ready. So we did that and are more than happy with the results.
มันเป็นของถ้าเบรกเนื้อผ้ามันแข็งกว่า
And the price came to just 5,400 baht, which is around, I think, about 160 US dollars. So really inexpensive.
มันโอเคอยู่
This is including all the
มันไม่โอเค
parts
ครับแม่
and
มัน
his
แข็
labour.
งกว่าแต่ของ Toyota
And if you've also had good experience using local mechanics or other local businesses in Thailand, please let us know about them in the comment section below. Thanks very much for watching.